Welcome back. This is episode 2 of Convos Create Change. I'm your host, Scotty Smart. I have my first guest. The brothers, they will come back in a little bit later on in this episode, but my first guest is someone that's really, really special to me, someone that's like family, that is like my sister. This is Miss Gail Bean. She is a star on the show Snowfall. She plays Wanda, and we're going to get into that, but how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Like you said, we family.
Right. So,
Scotty know my government. So.
right. I know everything. So I am so inspired by seeing what you've done from the time we've met, like our freshman year in college,
Yes.
and we've been able to take this journey and see how you've developed and see that you've been just
Both in front of the camera and off the camera.
right, definitely. Like we've
In
done
my personal life.
we've done a lot of developing over the years. We've changed
Yes,
a lot.
we have. We grew.
So,
Thank us.
right, so that's a part of a change. This conversation can create change, but you have to be an advocate for that. But I want to give people an insight on your journey because I've been able to see it firsthand and see your dedication and see how you transitioned to making it where you are, to taking on those big leaps of faith to say you want to move to LA and things like that. Like I was like, ugh. So to get started, like at what point did you realize like you were really gonna take this acting thing serious? Was it like a lifelong dream? Was it just like
Okay, so I've always loved entertaining, but it wasn't until my senior year in high school at Stevenson High, shout out to Stone Mountain, when I was in Dr. Narker's drama class. And, around your senior year, you're kind of like, okay, what I'm going to do when I graduate? Like, what's next at the high school? So I had decided I want to act because I've cheered all my life. I was like the active kid where I cheered, play with friends, whatever. But at this point, 12th grade, I'm like, okay, I want to graduate high school, move to LA. Boom. My mom is a high school teacher. She was like, no, you're going to college.
right? That's how we.
Hence we met. But also State University campus. Met Scotty. We had a lot of mutual friends because we're both from Atlanta. And at that point in time, it wasn't conversations creating no change. It was more like fights.
It was like fights and smoke a lot of weed, sell some drugs here and there, and class was like, okay, I might go. Like
I was a good student.
I wasn't. I was only there a semester, so I was there one semester.
I graduated. So I graduated. Congratulations.
Right.
I got my bachelor's in accounting, and but the entire time I was there, I did want to drop out. Like every year, I told my mom, "Hey, mom, I want to be done. I want to move back." She was like, "No, you're finishing. You're getting a job in. You're getting a degree in something that you can get a job in." So I did that. But the whole time, I was like, "I know I want to go to LA." Like I had never even been to LA, but everything in my body, in my gut, was like, acting is my passion, and LA is where I need to be.
So what steps did you take here that helped you to get that transition? Because I think you were doing some of the improv stuff.
I was.
remember
Ronnie Perry's Next Level Improv class.
Yeah, I remember
I
you
tell
doing
everybody
that.
to do that. So when I graduated, came back home to Atlanta, and then I started, actually what kicked things off, I enrolled at AIU, American Intercontinental University, and for media film production. Because I said, okay, I got my accounting degree. How can I apply this to my arts? Well, if I have my own production company, I'll know how to, like, when you start small, you're every role. So it's like I'll know how to keep my business afloat and run my business, and then that way when it grows and gets bigger, and I do hire someone to be over the finances, I can eyeball or look over their work, because a lot of small businesses fail because they put somebody in place over their finances, and the person is like stealing slowly, and then next thing you know, it's not successful and you fail.
And that's one of my big things is economics. So to understand and know that you got to be serious about your business is definitely important. Now, with you being kind of a newer face in Hollywood, would you consider yourself still new?
Oh, I'm definitely new. I'm fresh. I'm green.
So
I don't know nothing.
how is that energy within Hollywood? Like, is it a embracing environment? Is it like people look at you as like the new competition? Like, is it like a camaraderie?
It varies. It's one of those things where you have some people who, if they're on the same level as you, like y'all going in auditions, y'all haven't booked stuff yet, instead of some people being very encouraging and motivating, you have some people where they feel if they even assume that you're just an inch closer than them, then it's jealousy and it's like bad wishes on you.
Trying to take your spot type of thing.
Yeah, but the difference in Hollywood is this male and female. So you will have males and females that hate on you. Then you have some who are like already up and doing great, like the Kevin Hart's, the Tiffany Haddish's, like people, Issa Rae of substance, who are Yvonne Orji, who are super sweet and super nice and encouraging and like will pour into you. I have like my friends Dormtainment who they're chasing their dreams, but they're very encouraging and very supportive. So it's like you have people with Snowfall. Everybody's like, can you get me on Snowfall? Can you get me on Snowfall? When I may send them, I send everybody hella auditions that I may get like, hey, tell your reps to get you in for this. And some people have hit me back and be like, yeah, no, can you get me in on Snowfall?
Is it that simple as just sending them audition? Or how does that work? How's the process of like even getting to book a film or a TV show? How does that work?
Well, I have an agent and a manager.
Okay.
They send me the info like, hey, here's this project, here's the script, here are the sides. They have invited you to audition.
Gotcha.
So when I find out about it, I send it to other friends like, tell your reps to get you in for this.
Gotcha.
Like it's not as simple as I can just tell someone, hey, see my friend. Like when you're higher up on the call sheet, like a Franklin of Snowfall or like Gabrielle Union of Being Mary Jane, you kind of have a little more say, and you could say, oh, can y'all see my friend for this role?
All right.
But me, I'm not there yet. I'm not at the point where I could just tell the casting directors or the director or the producer, like, yo, see my friend.
Got you.
For this role.
And so they
bring them in.
Think that you can.
Yeah, some people, they definitely think I can, and I can't.
And so, like, has there been people that you come across that, like, you looked up to and have worked with now that have embraced you and, like, been able to mentor you or anything like that?
Yes. So Danielle Detweiler, she was on the Have and Have Nots. She was just on Watchmen on HBO with Regina King, and now she plays my sister in the show that I'm in.
Okay.
That was, I worked with her in Atlanta. She was the black girl that was going off on a white girl, like.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always loved her. I felt she's a phenomenal
actress. let's rewind a little bit because I ain't give people like your whole credentials.
Okay. Okay. Run the resume. Let them know. Let them know.
Flex a little muscle for them and give them a couple ideas, a couple roles you've been in, a couple TV shows that you've been a part of.
So I was on Atlanta, Donald Glover's Atlanta. I was on Comedy Central's Detroiters. I was on Issa Rae's Insecure. I had a film, Unexpected. I had another film, Belko Experiment. I was on Chicago PD, and I just finished shooting a film called Paradise Lost in Louisiana, and I'm on Snowfall. That's on FX. I play Wanda the crackhead. Well, I'm not even gonna call her that. I play Wanda Bell because you just never know. She wasn't always on crack, okay?
Right.
And it's so Snowfall, for people who haven't seen it, it comes on FX. We're just about to film season 4. I leave tomorrow to fly back to start filming season 4.
Squeeze us right in there, just on some brother sister stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
family. When Scotty called, I never say no.
That's
so
true.
He already know. But so Snowfall is about the crack cocaine epidemic in the 80s and how it was poured into the minority neighborhoods by the government.
I mean, I really, really love that show. We're going to go into a clip of that show right quickly so we can give y'all, if you have been living under a rock the last 3 seasons, a little something to look at.
This might be a spoiler because it's season 3, episode 1.
You seen them boys is dead?
Yeah, I told them niggas that shit was 7 kinds of stupid, but they wouldn't hear me. They just ran up on them niggas like they was the 18.
You dumb motherfuckers. I told y'all who them projects belong to.
Was you even listening to my story?
You should have stopped them.
I fucking tried!
And a fine fucking job.
Hey, chill. You know how them niggas was. You couldn't tell them shit. This ain't on Tyrell.
I ain't teach y'all how to cook up this rock so you could get us all killed. You best figure out how to handle this shit. Cause Saint them, they don't play.
Hey, look, first, I need you to tell me everything you know about Saint, your boy Leon, and everybody else in that crew. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
So we're working on Snowfall. You got to work with the legendary John Singleton.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the late John Singleton.
Rest in peace.
How was that experience getting it? Like, he's Boys in the Hood. He's the man, like, in Hollywood. How was that experience?
It was amazing because John is very, he's there for everything, and he sees everything in his mind, just works as he goes, and it builds, and it's just a really awesome experience because he also lets you, the actor, find and develop your character instead of being so controlling over it. He just kind of like gives you a guideline, and part of it is very specific in the sense that because it's real life, it's his life. You know what I'm saying? That he lived, his family, his cousin. So it's dear to him. You know what I'm saying? But he's very, very great, and he's very inspiring as far as whatever it is that you want to do. He's like, yeah, go for it. Just
Now, how, because one of my producers was talking, with it being a new season coming and him no longer being with us, do you feel like there'd be a difference in, or do you feel like someone's already on the team he was grooming to be able to fill his void?
Okay, so I felt like season 3, John had put so many people in place to where it was perfect, to where it could go on if he wasn't there.
Got you. Okay.
I felt like he had left us the masterpiece. Okay. Now, from a lot of things can change in the off season.
Right.
So from what I've heard, a lot of people are no longer there who were his people. Oh. So I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but I'm open. I heard it's still going to be great.
Okay.
I feel like, you've got 3 seasons of a storyline, so it can,
just pick up where it is, yeah,
and progress. But everybody's gonna go harder in his absence, because at the end of the day, it's like for John.
Right. Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, everybody misses his presence because he died while we were shooting season 3, episode 7, and that was like my big episode. It was major. That was when I kicked the girl in the face with a skate.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that episode.
Yeah. So it's like,
that's a great episode.
I don't know. We still had 3 more episodes to shoot after that, and it was heavy. But I felt like everybody went harder, and it was not in a sense better, but it was more richer.
Right.
Because we all had a piece of him now. We knew we had to take him with us because he wasn't physically there. The scene you just saw, that was the beginning of the season, and John's vision was like, to me, season 3 was the best season. John's vision was like, okay, we're going to give TV what they don't have. We're going to give them the real. We're not watering it down. We're not diluting it for nobody. This is what happened. Even like back in the beginning of the seasons, when they showed the little thug dude raping the boy, I was like, oh, that's what we going with it? You going to put that on TV?
So to get into more like from a personal standpoint, like how is it for you when you see yourself on screen and see yourself on TV? Like, I've been to the movie theater. I remember when we went to go see Unexpected the first time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like, I'm sitting next to you and you're on the screen. And that's different. Like, you like, dang, like, wow. And then like, literally, and you have such a great support system. Like,
yes,
we really had the whole.
I love all y'all.
So
we had the theater packed
out.
out.
The whole theater packed out, and then you walked out, and like it was like a standing ovation right there.
Oh
at
yeah,
the front.
that was wild.
I think I still got that video somewhere. I gotta. See
I got it.
Squeeze that in. But how is that?
Got so in it. But I got it.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta talk about that too. We'll get into the relationships thing.
But seeing myself on big screen is surreal. Big screen, little screen, whatever. It's always just so surreal because it's like, oh shoot, this is really happening. Because I didn't, as you know, I don't have no theater degree. I didn't go to like Juilliard or none of these like prestige theater schools, Harvard, Yale, class of acting and drama. I don't have that. And there were so many people who told me, I've heard so much, like, you didn't make it in Atlanta, what make you think you're gonna make it here? Like, I've heard a lot.
So what gave you that confidence to really like keep pushing through it? Because like I said, it seems like a very, even when I heard you tell me you was moving to LA, I was like, that's big, like, bro, like, for real, like, you want
I know they had people.
I couldn't really.
I told Jewel, I was like, you think I can do this? And she was like, I don't know what part of the entertainment industry you'll be successful at, but you'll be successful somewhere.
Right. That sounds like a very Jewel answer.
Yeah, it was like she didn't want to be like, you probably not gonna make it acting, but she was like, I'm gonna support you. You'll always have I'll always have a ticket.
Definitely, and I think that's huge to have that support system of friends and family that you definitely have. Like, we've had watch parties for Insecure, Atlanta. We've been able to see everything, so it's always eye-opening to me to see that support that you have, and just be able to soak and just really and be involved in your maturation throughout the whole process. It's like it actually inspires me personally to say like, no, really go chase your dreams.
Yeah, because you've seen it manifest. But I think the reason what allowed it to happen is just mindset. I feel like mindset is everything. I'm real big on like my faith as far as believing that, okay, I ask for signs, for the omens. I speak to the ancestors and God. And I think that's why I was able to persevere through all the negativity, all the obstacles that I faced. and really felt, okay, I asked God for a sign before LA because I was scared as hell.
Right.
I was like, oh, I ain't never been there. I don't know nobody there. I don't know nobody in the industry. Like, I don't know the first step about nothing. Like, I don't know how to get a representative. I don't know about going to auditions out here in this big, I don't know how to, maneuver LA.
Do you feel like most people in that profession have to move? Is the LA move that critical?
I feel like it's what you want in your career. Like I was very clear now about what I wanted. I want to be an international actress.
Okay.
I was very clear about that. Everything in me said move to LA. There's been people who left, came to Atlanta and been successful. There's been people who went to London, New York, all over, Louisiana. But I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I was at a point in Atlanta where I had peaked to where people were saying, why I ain't make it here? Everybody here knew me, but knew me as growing up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know me as Gail, the actor, to even take me serious, to even allow me in their space. Agents and managers weren't allowing me to come in and audition for representation. I would submit my stuff, and they was like, okay, you don't have any credits. And I'd be thinking, duh, bitch, I ain't got no credits because you ain't give me no audition. I don't have no rep. Like, you got to get me in a room so I can get some credit. Hence, it was like pointless.
Gotcha.
And everybody who could help me here, they just saw me as like, Gail, the homie who been, we love her. But they never seen me act. And even when I did start booking theater shows here, it wasn't like they was coming to see it. It wasn't like they, was seeing the student film projects that I was working on, which, by the way, Boys in the Hood was a student film. So people be sleeping on stuff, and it's like, you never know what could come up and who could become who.
So do you feel like now, like, a lot of those people, do they treat you differently now that they see you? And do you feel like it's a difference? Because I know personally, like, I never see a difference in how you act or how you are, you know what I'm saying? You're the same person. Right, but do you feel like people treat you differently?
Some people who know that they've shut doors in my face try to pretend like it was cool. It's like they forget.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, I got a long list of motherfuckers that I have said, one day gonna come. But I'm still just very nice, because I'm just like, okay, cool. But I'd be like, yeah, no, they would never rep me, or I would never work with that person.
Right. Now, within Hollywood, you have so many headlines and stories that come about. I know one for you could take like your social media breaks. But like,
I'm on one right now.
But like, do people pay attention to some like the hot topics and things like that, or is it like for instance, like if you had like right now I saw the Oscar So White was trending, or like you have a Harvey Weinstein was trending. Like, do people engage in those conversations within the community?
Definitely within the community, people engage in those conversations. Okay. Because I was engaged in the whole Harvey Weinstein thing because it was major. Like, all the productions, any production that you're on, you have to have a meeting and discuss with HR. Like, it became this big old thing, which as it should be, but I felt that, okay, the industry and the Me Too movement was applying pressure on Bill Cosby, but it wasn't applying pressure on Harvey. Like, if to me, it felt like everything had silence after a while. Bill Cosby was arrested.
His trial is just now starting.
Yeah, and now he's like in a walker, has a walker or something.
Right.
I was like, who is this?
And then they just said the prosecutor got sick or something. Like, it's been...
They're going to keep putting it off. When granted, okay, cool, he has money, but so did Bill Cosby. But y'all was not playing. Y'all found all 900,000 of them ancestors that you dug up that he supposedly raped.
And so, and that goes back, so another topic that has been really brewing this week is Ms. Lonnie Love had a quote saying that, like...
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't answer your Oscar So White.
Okay.
That's the conversation, but I feel like at this point, it's been a conversation for years and years and years. Now it's one of those things where, for me, I'm like, it is what it is. Okay, we can sit here and continue to discuss it, or we can be proactive about changing it.
But how do we change? Is it like we need more
projects?
We
need more black projects. We need more money behind black projects. We need more black members a part of the television, the Motion Picture Academy, because you have to be a part of the academy to be able to even vote and view all that stuff. I'm not a member of the academy because when I found out that they was gonna nominate me for something or whatever it was, I think for the Television Academy, for Emmys, you can pay and be a part of it. When I found out that Atlanta was gonna nominate me for my performance, it was too late when I called them. They was like, oh, it's past the deadline, so you can be a part of it, but you can't vote for this year. And it only is good for a year. So I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till closer to next year. With the Motion Picture Academy, I think they have to invite you. I'm not really sure the details on how you become a member of that, but that's even a thing. We don't really know. Like, granted, they are probably like, well, you can look up that information, but okay, or black people could just tell us.
Right.
We could look it up, but
we have such
how
a
do
hard
we
time.
how do we figure out? How do you be proactive? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of waiting like, oh, it's out there. If it's something where a person pays, then let them know. If it's something where members are invited, then the academy, then the responsibility falls on the Motion Picture Academy, and they need to invite more black people in it. So the actual membership reflects the industry.
Definitely. So you feel like that is a reflection of the industry with the Oscar so white type of thing? It's more.
Oh, it's definitely.
It is.
It's definitely a reflection of the industry.
I feel like,
but right now, the top 5 movies in the box office are Just Mercy, the movie with Michael B. Jordan about him.
Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Jumanji, the movie with Tiffany Haddish, I think it's called like a Boss or something like that. There's one more that has a black person, and then it's like this white film. So the top 4 out of 5 movies in the box office have a black person on the cover.
You know, we running these economics things now. We can come out and show.
Power.
That's the thing. It's like kind of what we harped on a little bit on episode 1. We have so much spending power, but we're not in positions of power to really. And that's the thing. We're not really understanding the business side of stuff. And that's what like I said, one of the biggest things we're going to be talking about on Convos with Create Change is economics and understanding our spending power, and not just spending freely, because we can get behind stuff, but spending strategically so that we can control the narrative. And I think that's the big thing within the industry, especially in entertainment, because we are the entertainers. This
is how I feel about the Oscars so white. I mean, if they're not allowing black people in it, why not just create a black Oscars? I'm just saying.
You know what?
I'm just saying. Chase was doing me wrong. I took my money and I opened a bank with Citizens Trust. If you're not gonna treat my mama told me, if you're not gonna treat me right, then I ain't gotta. You don't have to continue to do this shit.
Exactly.
You can lease. We have the spending power. So like you said, once we realize what to do with the power part, because all we still doing is just still spending.
Right. I think we don't really strategically have that unity to up and move together. Like, we might have, I remember when the Citizen Trust thing hit here like a year or 2 ago, Killer Mike was pushing it, everybody was like going to black-owned bank, and it was like a month.
But sometimes it takes time. Only reason I knew Citizens Trust is because I heard the Killer Mike thing a long time ago.
Right.
So had I not heard that, I would have known you can go somewhere else. You don't have to be treated like this.
And that's the thing. I feel like we don't understand the power of us moving and getting up and going, because then that makes people have to listen. Like, if you remove your money from their situation, they will crumble. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have Gucci going so hard to get the black dot. Now, Gucci Man been Gucci Man for 20 years, and he just now became the face of Gucci because they needed a black face, because so many black people were like, nah, we ain't messing with that right now. And their numbers were dropping. So I think that's a big, huge thing to really understand. We really have so much power, and we're not.
Even with Ghana, this was the year of return for Ghana, $1.9 billion. The year of return. It was blacker than black. I ain't went nowhere in Ghana and was the minority. Not once. I was there from December 7th to December 29th. Not once. 1.9 billion? 1.9. Black people bought 1. And that's not even calculating all the money that was really spent, because there's a lot of people, they don't know. They don't have no real way of keeping up.
Right. That's what was reported.
1.9 billion. Just think, if we did, the Boskers, we need the Boskers.
The Boskers. I'm Mr. Juneteenth. I'm creating stuff. So Boskers, we just got to create our own lanes and really harp on creating our own lanes and supporting our own lanes and staying in our own lanes.
I agree.
And we was talking about last week, we said our biggest thing with equality was social equality, but not economic equality, to where we're financially, we just wanted to be a part of what they had going on. And that's the big thing that we've been trying to harp on, is to have economic equality, to where you could stand alone. If we just supported our own businesses, and you don't have to dislike somebody, but you saying, look, this is my people. They have a good company. They have a good service. This is where I want to spend my money. You can enrich that company, have them build employees, employers, and then we are recycling our dollars. And that's one of the big things I'm really trying to push in 2020. So even to have that conversation steer off into that, that's amazing. So I think that's something, like I said, the industry, we need this. We really just have to figure out our togetherness, our unity, and where we can really just. Okay, so let's get into the blame thing. Like, I think there's so much anger within our community.
Agreed.
Like the big thing that went viral the other day with Miss Lonnie Love, I was about to get into, where she generalized all black men cheat when they get into a position of power. And I just felt like
Every black man I've dated has not cheated on me.
that's true. Let me tell y'all a funny story, right? This had nothing to do with this topic, right? So we was watching what did you have at what's that club? You had a
Atlanta.
The Atlanta viewing
We was
party.
watching the episode of Atlanta.
We was watching
Champagne
Atlanta.
Poppy.
So yeah, so she was on Atlanta. She had a party here, right? So we go to the party, and this dude who I grew up with, right? They've been dating for like
5-6 years.
They was dating for like 5 years at this point. So I stay out of their personal business. You know what I mean? I don't get in like, you know, hey, just as long as you ain't disrespecting my sister, we ain't got no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, cool. She's cool. So dude came in. I hadn't seen her in a while. We hadn't chalked it up on that level. So I didn't really know they wasn't on the best of terms at this point, right? So dude come into the party. She ain't got there yet. We get there a little bit earlier so she can make her little entrance or whatnot. He come in with flowers and balloons and all this stuff, like hyping it up. He's sitting right next to me. And I guess he kind of used me.
Let's just be clear. We're no longer together at this point.
Right.
We was done.
And I didn't know that though. So she walks in and he gets up and he got the flowers and the balloon and he gives it to her. And then she like, okay. She hugs him and then she sits the flowers and balloons right back down and walked off. I was like, disclaimer. I think while we was dating, I might have got flowers once. So
it was in 5-6 years. So you can't be pulling out the stops expecting. I just feel like
you was over that situation at that point. Okay.
I was. I felt like it's too little, too late. But now, like a lot of times in retrospect, people are like, oh, I could have done this differently. Okay, so do that for the next woman. Be better for the next woman because it's dead with us.
But see, and like I said, like you said, you don't feel like you've felt that cheating type of angle. That's why I say I feel like that comes from a place of hurt and what you've dealt with.
But I mean, I've been cheated on before, but even guys that have cheated on me, I don't have no disrespect for them. Like, okay, with the Lonnie Love thing, she said, well, all black men cheat?
Right, all men. Her statement was kind of vague because she started off saying men
it had to
power,
be black men because she was talking about slavery.
Right.
So,
then she said something had to do with slavery. Like, I felt like those were two different things that didn't really go together because black men didn't have any power in slavery.
They
so,
didn't, or money.
But she used that to say that was when our homes were separated, which is a point, but it was also separated when you had criminal justice reform, not reform, but everyone getting locked up.
I mean, but there's a lot of factors that can go into a lot of things.
Right.
That's like when people say, oh, they blame, this person is bad because of their upbringing.
Right.
No, because it's some person with the same upbringing who ain't never been to jail, who ain't never, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what we're going to bring the fellas in a minute and really had a conversation about men and commitment and feeling like, I feel like black men are under attack at sometimes. Like, we don't really get, like, I feel like...
Are y'all?
Yes. Like, we like the bottom of the barrel. Now, I do agree.
I feel like black as a whole is under attack.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's always a head against the black man and the black woman trying to decide who's under attack the most.
Right, yes, I definitely... It's like
but
we all hurt, y'all.
I don't feel like all black men cheat. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? You've had your cheating days.
No, I have never had cheating days.
Okay, no, because you're right.
I would stay single before I cheat.
Correct.
So I've been single for a long time. No, I did not cheat on her. No, I did not. I dated your friend after me and her broke up.
That's not my friend.
And then I was at the time y'all were friends.
It's not.
Right. So like, you know how like you break up with somebody, but you don't really like. You ain't over it yet. You still dibbling and dabbling.
Okay.
And so I was still dibbling and dabbling, but I was trying to move on.
Okay.
So it kind of like crossed paths.
It was blurred.
It was blurred.
You were in limbo with her.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think really, honestly, if she probably didn't move.
Would you cheat now if you had a girlfriend?
Nah, I would rather just be single. Like.
Okay.
And And sometimes never mind. Let me not go there.
I mean, I've cheated
I know.
on many
I just feel like,
but cheating. To
I feel
me,
like that's the thing of
you got to
settling.
find the definition of cheating because I feel like cheating is anything you won't do in front of your significant other.
Right.
So
but I feel like
I'm a hungry
I feel
girl.
Like
I like
cheating
to eat.
is a is a mechanism of settling. You're not really getting what you want and you're still searching for something else within a partner. So I feel like if you settle and you feel like there's something more that you need to have, then you may look to cheat.
There's different reasons why people cheat, though. Sometimes a person could cheat because they may be missing just one thing. Like they may, if my guy, I don't feel if he's too busy and can't give me the attention that I want, I may just simply have phone conversations and text with another guy.
Right.
And never meet up with them. Always like.
Yeah, that's cheating. That's cheating. That's entertaining. You're entertaining another person.
Yes, but I'm saying that I don't feel like I've settled with my person that I'm with.
But
it's
there's
one little
something
thing
that you're not getting from that person, and that's my thing. Like I realize like there's some things that I'm not willing to settle with. Like if I don't feel like you naturally beautiful, like you feel like you're one of those makeup needing type of girls, I can't deal. Maybe I'm shallow, but I'm into natural beauty, into natural women. So it's like that's something that I really gotta have. And it's like if you're one of those girls that wake up in the morning, you feel like you gotta put on makeup. You're not even
different
confident
strokes
within yourself.
for different.
It's a confidence thing, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's an insecurity thing.
But see, some men they don't mind it being done up. They don't mind the quick wig. What is it called?
I'm not saying
the wigs that people be
Oh,
wearing.
lace fronts.
Lace fronts.
That's normal stuff at
That's
this point.
it.
But I'm just saying, like for me, it's a confidence, it's an insecurity that you have within yourself, and so we really try to get into that. But we're gonna finish this conversation with the fellas because we got too much.
Okay, I want to hear what they got to say.
Personal stuff that we can get into, and that'll kind of. I ain't ready for y'all to be on my personal business because she know all my. She be the one like.
He don't want me to fact check
She
it.
be like,
Be like,
I know you like that girl, but is she really the one? I'd be like, man, I think, you know what I'm saying? It could. And then like a month later, I'd be like, nah, that wasn't what it was.
Yeah, Scotty fall in love every week.
That's not true. That's not.
I'm not gonna tell this. Okay, it was great. It was great.
Well, like I said, we're just gonna wrap up the first portion of this. If you don't have anywhere to go, you still can sit in when we bring the fellas on if you have time. But we're gonna give us some of your handles so we can get your information. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I am on a social media break, but Gail Bean on everything across the board: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you just type in Gail Bean, you'll find me. I'm not at a point where like people are making fake pages, so you can just find me.
And so that's just gonna wrap up the first segment of it. Like I said, we're about to bring the fellas in. We're gonna get into this commitment thing with men and different variations of that. And we're just gonna have to continue our conversation, see if we can create a change. I wanna thank my guest, my sister, for being my very first guest on this show, on the podcast, and just having a great conversation with me.
Because conversations create change.
Conversations create change, so that's what we're trying to do. We are change creators. Thank you for your time.